What's the deal with 300 migrants working at a Hyundai factory? I don't understand why a factory has become a hot-button topic in the news lately with the recent ICE deportations. While I know we should enforce our laws and ensure that criminal immigrants are managed swiftly, but I do also believe that those good, well-mannered immigrants should be provided with an option for legal citizenship. But it's surprising that a factory has 300 migrants working in there. I'm sort of out of the loop here. Can someone explain to me if this Hyundai factory overstepped its bounds and hired higher proportion of immigrants to the locals? If that is the case, then it does look bad that we're taking the spoon out of citizens and giving it to immigrants. Answer: the factory isn't fully constructed yet and needs key machinery and setup. There are a mixed bag of machinery operators, plant managers, engineers, and construction workers in those arrested. The ICE raided with a warrant for 4 construction workers, not LG/Hyundai, and arrested everyone. They're bringing in equipment from Korea to set up matching infrastructure. They need Korean workers since the equipment is from Korea, to make sure the setup is correct and eventually train the American workers. It's not rocket science hard, but the transition process is necessary unless you want something that could be taking 3 months take 3 years. This isn't a long-term arrangement, it's a short-in setup out. L1 visas are time-consuming, have long timelines, and have a decent chance to get denied. Short-term business trips very commonly abuse ESTA for this reason, and L1 is reserved for long-term business stays, 1+ year. These states and international customs are very on board with this, which is why the companies are building there in the first place. This isn't a very closely guarded secret. When these people went into customs, they asked the purpose of travel, and most definitely they answered work. If this is such a serious issue, the customs should have sent them back. In fact, ESTA shouldn't have been issued in the first place. This is why it's actually something controversial, because this was a very well-known loophole to sweeten the deals for companies investing, and it worked until suddenly it didn't. If companies want to avoid the tariffs by building on US soil, they will have to pay and wait for the visas, and the construction timeline will be doubled. Hyundai/LG have communicated that plant construction will be halted and workers have been negotiated for release. Very quickly for a raid that has been supposedly done after months of research. This is the best answer so far. To further clarify, when a US facility needs to install a foreign process or equipment, they often have to bring in engineers, technicians, operators from the foreign company to install and qualify the equipment and train the US operators. There are often NO qualified persons in the US who can do this, as the equipment is highly specialized. This work has to be started immediately and takes a month to a year. There is no US visa which explicitly permits this activity. For many decades, companies have used the B1 visa or 90-day ESTA waiver for these activities, as these allow business activities. The line between a business meeting, a classroom training, and showing someone how to use equipment is pretty blurry. The informal line that has been drawn by both companies and USCIS for decades is that so long as the worker is being paid in their home country, is not producing commercial goods, and is not actively engaged in hands-on construction, the activity is consistent with business, and is okay. It appears that that may no longer be the case, and that a very strict definition of business is now in force without prior notification. This will make tech transfer extremely difficult and has the potential to severely damage foreign relations, decrease foreign investment, stop construction of foreign-owned plants in the US, and keep foreign multinationals out of the US. Jobs will be lost.